Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Ahman Gray. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0. and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska East sports coach, Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday. What's up, AG? What's up, Mr. Swim?
Hello, guys. It was a great conversation on early break. Obviously, former Husker Luke Gifford was in studio. And Raff, it made me think of this when you just said, "What's up, Mr. Swim?" Because I realized that I have to fully embrace the nickname that I am just no longer Nick. Because when they introduced me to Luke earlier this morning, they didn't introduce me as Nick. They didn't say, "Hey, this is Nick Sainert" or anything. They said, "Hey, this is Swim." And he goes, Luke looks at me and goes, "Swim, where did that come from?" And I just looked at Sip and I said, "Do you see what you've done now? Is that you've encouraged that people just refer to me and know me as Swim now rather than my actual name."
Yeah. That's how nicknames start. Somebody else does it, and you got to ride with it, man. You got to ride or die with it, Nick.
Well, I got to ride or die with it, I suppose. But also, it's to the point now where, and Sip has even talked about it. It's to the point now to where he goes, "It doesn't feel right to call you Nick." He's like, "I hear Nick," and I go, "Man, who is he talking to? Who are they talking to?" Because everybody just calls me Swim now.
There you go. It's like a badge of honor, bro. You earn a nickname from your peers. That's awesome.
Yeah, but now AG, the way I earned that nickname was because I was a large man. I was wearing a baby blue, I was wearing a teal polo, and the guy just says, "Hey, it looks like a big swimming pool." That's how I earned the nickname.
But you gotta remember, nicknames usually go off the opposite of what you are.
Oh no, that was accurate at the time. That was
at the time, but you're not no more. That's what I'm saying. You're not no more. So
that's right.
Now you're one lane.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with Swim. I've gotten messages on like Facebook Messenger and Twitter and things like that. Ask people that have tuned into the show recently and I have just been out of it of why Swim is a thing. They've been asking me what the deal is with Swim. No AD today, no AD tomorrow. He's in Sacramento giving a talk, and so he is out for the next couple of days. But we're going to be here. There's plenty of stuff to obviously get to, guys. I want to encourage everybody listening, 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are open for everybody here on the show on a Tuesday. AD does chime in, says, I'm listening from the plane, fellas. And he goes, "Morning, Swim." And so there you have it. So AD is chiming in from the air. He's somewhere. He flew out relatively early this morning, I thought.
Yep, he was in Denver, and now he's on his way from... I spoke to him when he was in Denver. I told him to tell John Elway hi for me, and he said he would do that. So thanks, AD. I appreciate that.
Well, I will never forget. It was right after we started doing a show together. I think this might have been before AG started joining us, and it was when AD was in Denver and he went to Elway's Steakhouse. And I mean, the prices that John Elway is charging for his food out there is just absolutely absurd. And so I've seen it firsthand when I've been in the Denver airport, when I flew out there for the Nebraska-Colorado game a couple of years ago. We experienced it, obviously, when AD was talking about it. I just don't know how John Elway gets – I mean, how does he get away with that stuff out in Denver?
That's called airport pricing, Nick.
That's not a John Elway issue. That's an airport pricing issue.
No. You know John Elway's working for you.
Okay. Sounds good. Anyway, but guys, we have a lot to get to. Starting off with Nebraska football gets a couple of commits yesterday to their 2026 class in the form of a defensive back and a running back. I kind of want to build off of that conversation at some point here in the show as well. And I sent this to you guys earlier this morning regarding just Nebraska's running back situation as a whole, because we know Emmett Johnson's going to be featured, and there's going to be a lot of talk about this, I think, in the next couple of months. We know Emmett Johnson's going to be featured, but kind of who is the guy behind him that Nebraska fans are going to need to know? Because as you know, AG, you can speak to it better than anybody. You can't have just one guy that's going to be featured. You need to have kind of an army of a couple of dudes, especially in the backfield. Nebraska doesn't have I mean, this is not a knock against Emmett Johnson, because I love Emmett, but there's a different style and different type of running back from maybe what Nebraska used to have in obviously UAG and in Lawrence Phillips, and then now what they have had the last decade or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they got the numbers. They have guys back there. You know, they got Quentin, they got Isaac, Vincent, Emmett himself, Kenneth. So they got some guys. It just, the part of it is a lot of them don't have a ton of experience. That's the biggest thing I see. And that's not a bad thing. You know, I had no experience coming in, but I learned rapidly. I got adjusted to the team, my teammates first, and then the playbook second, and got that down pat. And then got to a point where I gained the confidence not only in myself to play, but then the coaches had confidence in me to put me out there as a true freshman. So that's the biggest thing for all these players, is get that confidence within themselves first, learn the playbook, and I'll be annoying Emmett Johnson if I was a freshman right now. I'll be asking him all type of questions about, you know, the offense, which one is the hardest part to learn first, go from there. So I could get myself ready to be that backup guy. And that's whoever that backup person is, if it's Quentin, if it's Isaac, Vincent, Makai, or Connor, you know, they got to look at themselves and say, okay, what did I got to do to make sure that when Emmett is out the game, there's no change in what we do as a running back core. You know, when the offense needs another running back because Emmett's resting or whatever, next guy steps up and there's no change. Or I bring a different change where it throws the defense off because I'm bigger or I'm a little shiftier, stuff like that. So that's what the mindset you got to put in there, those young running backs' heads is, you know, yeah, we have a number one, but we definitely got to have a number two, and then 3, 4, and on down the line, because, you know, next man up mentality. We know how sports is. We know how football is. Injuries happen. You know, injuries happen. You got to be ready to go.
Well, and in this 2026 class, Raff, we can start here. We'll get to Danny Odom in just a moment, but since we're on the topic of the running back room, I think that the guy that you're going to kind of see in addition to Emmett Johnson the most this year is Makai Nelson, who's been in the program for a couple of years. I think you're going to see a pretty healthy dose of Makai Nelson in that backfield for Nebraska. And obviously, maybe you expected in going into this 2025 season that you were going to have Emmett Johnson and Dante Dowdell returning. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's almost scary, I think. And Nebraska would have, I guess, attacked the transfer portal if this hypothetical scenario would have played out. But it's kind of scary to think about what this running back room would look like and what you would feel about it if Emmett Johnson would have actually went somewhere when he entered the transfer portal, Raff, because I think we forget sometimes because of how active he was, not only on in the high school setting with Dylan Raiola and his whole high school tour and things like that, but how just active he's been on social media and in social media videos that Nebraska's pumped out. We actually sometimes forget that this is a guy that did enter the portal at one point, and he ends up coming back, right? So we don't need to worry about that part of it. But I think you'd feel a lot different about this running back room if you looked at it and said, okay, no Dante Dowdell and no Emmett Johnson. What do you have? A lot of unproven guys, Raff.
Yeah, it would have been definitely scary. But then on the other hand, you think to yourself, if they would have lost Johnson, if they'd have lost Emmett to the portal, they probably would have made a more bigger dive into the transfer portal, that there might have been someone else that would have drawn more interest, or they would have been more interested in us looking at, hey, there's an open starting slot at the University of Nebraska to play running back. And another thing too is I think Quentin Ives, I think he's kind of like your one guy too, that I think if he steps up, you know, that makes that running back room much, much better too. And I think that's what the coaching staff really wants to see, is he got some, you know, extended playing time at the end of last year. So I think that Ives, Johnson, Makai, I think you have three that it's just a matter of them stepping up, you know, like AG said, and, you know, and playing solid football.
I was going to say, AG, with that, I like what is the key characteristic or I guess shift that needs to happen from being a guy that going into the season, we're saying that we're sitting here going, okay, yeah, this is somebody that can take some reps away from, or can earn some reps. Maybe that's a better way to phrase it. Can earn some reps away from Emmett Johnson and be a pretty important part in this machine. What is the shift that needs to happen, maybe internally for them, from changing the identity of, all right, this is a guy that's off of potential to a guy that actually can help us week in and week out, game after game?
Show up on tape in practice. Show up on, making runs that are like amazing, basically dynamic, or just solid plays where it's a consistency. It's not just one or two plays. It's consistently making those big plays out there, converting, getting the ball positively up the field, gaining 5 yards every time you touch the ball. It starts in practice and then also in that playbook, not making a whole lot of mental errors. It's fundamentals. It's not no rocket science, no fitness workout that you see on the reels on Instagram or anything like that. It's just basically get in the playbook and being consistently out there and available during practice once training camp starts. That's it. And then once you start consistently doing that every day, that means you got a lot of tape on yourself. The coaches are watching you, they're breaking down film and then relaying questions to the head coach, to the offensive coordinator, to the defensive coordinator about certain guys at certain positions. But at the we're talking about running backs. So for those running backs in the room that doesn't have the big game experience, their best experience is knowing practice and knowing how practice runs, to get out there and then consistently, good play, no errors. They're going to have errors, but trying to be perfect as possible. That's the mindset to go into it. And then now that are right there, I told you, will then gain the confidence of the coaches because they'll see you every day. When you have other coaches saying to EJ, hey man, Emmett's looking good, or Quentin Ives, he's did this. When you have the other position coaches commenting on your players that you coach, then EJ is doing his job, and then you'll have your 1, your 2, and your 3 guys, and then everybody else still has to catch up. Just learning the playbook and getting them reps out there.
What's been the holdup?
Transition. It's been a lot of change. Since Matt Rule's got here, even you go back when Frosty was here, it was constant new coaches, new players, the transfer portal. All of that is part of it. It's just you got to find, some normalcy in there. I know if I'm coaching, I'm looking at what can I give the kids in my room, the running backs in my room, to say, hey, this is something that has been like this from day one. I got some normalcy. Come in the room, say, hey, we're going to hit this in the playbook, then we're going to watch film, and this is going to be our routine. So they at least got that down. They got, when their assistant coach comes in, what that normal routine is down, and for them to get to that comfortable spot when they're in a game or in practice session, really pushing hard in red zone or 2-minute drive. That's when you have normalcy, then you have progress. Then you're able to get better and develop, because then there's not one guy that was here and then boom, another guy's gone because of portal or injury or whatever. When you have all that transition, then it's tough to have players really step up because they don't know who and when they are, who's the starter, who's not the starter, things of that nature. So that's just with all of that going on, it takes some time.
Yeah, and then you also have the great separator, pass protection. I think that's going to be key.
That's huge.
That always has been kind of the thing that you've heard about running backs as well. They don't pass protect that well. And I think too, it's different this year going into it, is that we have, I think, a clear-cut number one running back. It seems like in the past years, it's always been, well, Dell might be, but, Emmett Johnson, and it always seems like there was never like just that one solid person that we looked at and been like, okay, yes, he is the starting running back. So I think just having not up in the air and like, well, we'll throw him in for 2 possessions. Well, we'll put him in. So I think they'll actually stick with somebody.
Well, I think a lot of that, guys, it comes with, like AG said, about the coaching, right? Like, I feel like in the last couple of years, this is even before Matt Rule and going back to back when whether it was Brian Applewhite and they had the whole saga with guys like AJ Allen and with Jaquez Yance and things like that. It has always felt, and even in the early years of Emmett Johnson, it has always felt like, from the spectator standpoint or from the outsider standpoint, the ones that aren't in practice every single day, and I understand how ridiculous this may sound as I kind of put the parameters on it, But for everybody on the outside, you're sitting there going, man, it looks like Emmett Johnson just has something that maybe Dante Dowdell doesn't. But then here we are saying, like, man, what is the deal? Why is Dante Dowdell getting the lion's share of the carries? And like, it just always felt different, and it never felt organized is not the right word, but I would say choppy. And I think that now, like you said, whether this is because Emmett Johnson is kind of just the last one standing in the room, or because he's truly taken the running back one job, I think you're right, Raff. I think you have an idea going in that, all right, this is the guy that's going to take the lion's share of the carries. But like I said, is that because we've seen enough from Emmett to where it's okay, he's clear cut number one, he's got everything it takes, or is it because he was the last one standing and chose not to transfer? I think it can be a little bit of both as well, because as you guys know, if the more bodies you have in that room and the more capable running backs you have in that room, competition it breeds competition, and then who knows what the situation is for who gets the bulk of the carries.
I mean, real simple. You look at, Emmett goes in the portal, he gets picked up by another school. You're looking at Vincent Genatoni, the junior, who's the elder statesman, but not a lot of experience on the field. So so you're just looking at two. Then you have two redshirt freshmen, you have two freshmen, two sophomores, and then Emmett. And we know out of Emmett that he has the most experience on that field. And I think that's one factor why he's going to be the preseason, training camp potential, starter right there, because of that experience from his last year, the way he ended his season and his burst through the regular season of last year. He had some, outstanding plays, even the year before. Outstanding plays, big plays, runs over 20 yards and, big conversions and things of that nature. And it's just the simple stuff of showing up on the film, like I mentioned in the beginning of this conversation. To show up on film, have a lot less mental errors than goods did. And a lot less mental errors and more good plays out there on that practice field. And that's where the attention comes in from your from EJ Barthos, the running backs coach, to any other coach in that building, because trust me, they'll be wanting, praising your glory when you're out there doing the job, converting and being a player that you could depend on, not only by the coaches, but also by your teammates.
Well, I think this is pretty indicative of just college football here, because I would not be surprised, and we obviously don't know the representatives yet, and we won't for a couple of weeks, but the Big Ten Media Days is actually going to be concluding a month in 1 month from today. Sorry, I had to think about how I wanted to word that. In 1 month from today, the Big Ten Media Days out in Las Vegas will be concluding on July 24th. And so Nebraska they're going to be there on day one in July 22nd. But I would not be surprised to see Emmett be a representative. Like, I look at that offense, and sure, Dylan Raiola would probably steal the show. He'll show up and everything like that if Dylan is a representative. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see Emmett Johnson be involved there, because you look at other places on that offensive side of the ball and you wonder, okay, who would be some potential reps or representatives for Nebraska at Big Ten Media Days. And it really feels like after the offseason, and like I said, just how public like Dylan and Emmett have been regarding whether it's been in high school stuff, whether it's been NIL issue, situations. It feels like it has to be one of those two guys. And I would honestly potentially lean towards Emmett, because I think his story, and there's a lot of interesting things there with Emmett Johnson. Now I say all of this, and we're talking about the running backs, because Nebraska yesterday gets the commitment of 3-star running back from the state of North Carolina, goes to Charlotte Christian High School in Jamal Rule. Jamal, a 3-star, according to the folks over at Rivals and On3, because that's about to be the same company here in a couple of days. But the folks over at Rivals, a 3-star running back there. Another guy similar to what we were going to talk about with like CJ Bernau, who decommitted and then committed to Florida a couple of days ago. Similar story to where Nebraska and EJ Barthel very early in on Jamal Rule, the 3-star running back. And Rule chooses the Huskers over programs like Syracuse. He chooses them over other programs like Michigan State, Virginia Tech, and then Nebraska were his top 4. He visited all 4 of those schools. Most recently, he visited East Lansing, Michigan, to Michigan State this past weekend, but it was not enough to overcome Nebraska's offer, I guess, and the persuasion there from EJ Barthel. So another situation to where Nebraska staff is early in on a guy, AG.
I mean, getting a kid early is always good, like I mentioned, but now you got to wait as the coaching staff to make sure everything stays the same. I like his size, 6'2", 205. I like that. Coming in as a freshman, he's going to definitely grow into a bigger frame. Now it's just keeping the contact always, constant checking in with him during his football seasons that he's going to continue at the high school level, and making sure he knows everything that the offense is running now. I think that'll be a good antidote to add. If I'm recruiting a kid and he commits early and I'm like, all right, this is what we do offensively. This is how we do our first meeting. This is how we do our install meeting with the offense. And then once we get the install done, then we go to the running backs room. And this is what I cover as a coach. That's what, if I'm, EJ, start bringing that in, because then he'll start to get used to what's going on before he even gets to campus. So he, at least when he finds himself on campus that day one where he's in, I say spring ball or even a fall ball, then he understands, okay, coach is going to come in the room, introduce himself, and then boom, we're getting on breaking down film on these plays, this installment and offensive plays that I'm going to need to know. And I'm going to need to know the audibles. I'm going to need to know the adjustments to the offense alignment, things of that nature. So if he starts getting it now, then coming on campus, he could just walk in knowing a lot already. Now he just got to go through the physical side of it.
Yeah, Raff, as a junior, Jamal Rule rushed for 1,236 yards and 15 touchdowns in just 7 games for Charlotte Christian High School. So over 1,200 yards and 15 rushing touchdowns in just 7 games. Obviously, if you do the math, over 2 touchdowns on average per contest there. I want to get your guys' thoughts on now what turns out to be Nebraska's highest rated commit when we come back. We haven't been able to talk about him. Nebraska got 2 commitments for their 2026 class on Monday afternoon and evening. We talked to Jamal Rule, and now we have to talk about Danny Odom, but we're up against the clock. So Raff, go ahead and send us to break. And when we come back, let's talk about a defensive back Nebraska got from the state of Florida.
All right, well, to break, just the drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Play ball! Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday, talking Nebraska football, talking Nebraska recruits. They're coming in left and right.
They are, and it's on a class, or for a class in Nebraska's 2026 class that you don't expect there to be a ton of names. And what I mean by that is normally we're more accustomed to seeing Nebraska, and this is even predating Matt Rule, taking close to 20, 25 guys in the high school recruiting class. Not sure Nebraska's 2026 haul is going to be similar to that. You have, though, where a week after CJ Bernau, who was Nebraska's highest rated recruit according to Rivals, 94th player in the country out of Windermere High School in Winter Garden, Florida. He decommits a week ago today from Nebraska after he had been committed to the Huskers since November. And then the next day, he ends up committing to one of the in-state schools in the University of Florida on June 18th. Well, last night, Nebraska is able to beat out programs like Oklahoma, Ohio State, Clemson, and Penn State for a 6'1", 160-pound defensive back, a corner, Danny Odom from First Academy High School in Orlando, Florida. Philip Simpson, a big player in this recruitment, as he is with every single recruit out of the state of Florida, as Nebraska brought him back to kind of help recruit that state, as well as coach a position group on the defensive side of the ball. This seemed to be between, when it really came down to it, seemed to be between Nebraska and the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Nebraska ends up beating out the Buckeyes, but good job by Nebraska in the last 6 months or so, really understanding, okay, CJ Bernal, it doesn't appear that he was going to be able to stick with Nebraska's class, and so ultimately in the long run, Nebraska really started to prioritize Danny Odom over the last 5 to 7 months, and it ends up winning out. Danny Odom, now Nebraska's highest rated recruit. He is about 20 spots higher in the rankings than CJ Bernal was, but you're kind of grasping and picking at straws there when you talk about the differences between those guys. But Danny Odom, Nebraska's highest rated recruit, guys, in that defensive back room, that's going to be having a couple of new faces this year, but also you look at what's to come in 2027, and there's going to be even more new faces after you lose guys like Malcolm Hartzog and Marquise Buford Jr. and other guys like that.
100%. You gotta fill the roster. You gotta get the guys in the room that could play the position. Was able to catch a little bit of film on Danny Odom. Good feet off the break in terms of starting with the wide receiver in front of him, backing up, and then turning the hips well. Got good ball awareness as well, and he's a bandit for the ball. So he either want to swat it away or get the pick. He will be able to contest being at the height he's at, and then the size he's going to be a freshman. Lightweight, but he's going to grow into a bigger frame, probably pick up another 10 pounds coming in on campus within the first year. And so right there, always got to have good DBs. Why? Because this is a passing game right now. Regardless of how good your run game is, you do have it, but having wide receivers, having DBs that are his size and have the ability that he does, he plays it very comfortably, seeing with the film I've watched. And so it's going to be a nice addition to that room and make that room replace some good defensive back, like you mentioned, Harzal being gone and all that. He's going to basically come in and I say start satisfying coaches in terms of what he needs to do at his position.
And also shows too, we talked about last week how when we lost CJ, how there are other plans. Like I felt, strongly that there was going to be I wouldn't say a plan B, because I think that Odom's going to be, a really good player. And he's already, like AG said, he's shown a lot of potential. He sticks his nose in. He's great on run support. But what I like too is like that where he's got room for improvement coming in. So it'll be exciting to see. And also with that size, it's good to get, if you can find a corner that's 6'1", 6'2", and able to run and has great fluidity in his hips. I mean, that's huge. And that's all the stuff that he shows, on film and what's been talked about.
Yeah, another lengthy guy. And Nebraska continues to try to find these guys that number one can run, obviously, but number two that just have real long arms, and he kind of fits that mold that Nebraska's looking for. You look at Nebraska's defensive back room as a whole right now, and I mentioned there's going to be a couple of new faces because you're going to be moving on from after the 2026 season, or 2025.
Let's get there first.
I'm saying after the 2025 season, you're going to be moving on from a couple of guys that have been staples in your defensive back room going forward. I mean, after this year, it's Marquise Buford is out the door. Deshaun Singleton is going to be gone. You have a couple of transfers that have come in and played big roles, like a Sierra Wright as well, who's going to be moving on from the program because it's his last season with the Huskers. And so there's three guys that are going to play notable spots and roles in the secondary this year that you're going to have to replace. And Nebraska, obviously, as they targeted with CJ Bernal, but then also now with Danny Odom, they made it a priority to go out and get kind of a notable name there. And then you look around at Nebraska's defensive back rooms while we're on this conversation at some guys that I'm personally interested to see. I'm interested to see if Bly Hill can take that next step, right? He got injured in the spring of last year. We did not see him very often in the fall. And he's a guy from St. Francis where he won awards as a true freshman at St. Francis, where it's okay. Can we see a Bly Hill take a step like we were expecting prior to his injury in 2024? What is a guy like Donovan Jones, after we saw him in the bowl game against Boston College, what does his role look like in that secondary for the Huskers? Even somebody like this is a new addition from the University of Idaho, Andrew Marshall. Where does he fit into all this? There's a lot of intriguing pieces, and similar to the running back room, just on a bigger scale, because more DBs are on the field, obviously, at one time than running back. There's opportunities for some of these younger / newer guys to make a splash.
Yeah, I know. We also talk about too, we have a new defensive backs coach, so it's a new set of eyes. So there might be somebody that we have not talked about as much that might have caught, his attention. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out also.
Yeah, and I'd love to see what Caleb Benny could do, because he was a wide receiver in high school. So he has that ability where he could go both ways and has the transition of knowing what a wide receiver expects from a defensive back and vice versa. So he has that under his belt. So that's going to benefit him in this locker room this DB room, having that type of experience playing offense and playing defense. That is a big thing. We saw that with other players around college football last year, Travis Hunter for the past 2-3 years, and what he's done. So it's going to be interesting. Not saying he's going to go to the offensive side of the ball, but just saying he has that experience, so he really knows what a wide receiver is trying to do off the ball, so he can defend that all the time.
Yeah, and Nebraska's still going after another defensive back. And once again, like we said, we don't expect this class in 2026 to be that long, and with that many guys in it. They're currently sitting, I want to say, at 8 for the 2026 class. I would expect that number to be less than 15 when it's all said and done. But when you look at another guy that Nebraska's attacking in the recruiting game for 2026, and it's actually an in-state guy, Darian Jones from Omaha North High School, another defensive back, has offers from multiple schools, over double-digit offers from Omaha North. Listed as the second best player in the state of Nebraska, has offers from places like Kansas State, Iowa. Nebraska obviously is involved there. Darian visited the Huskers back on June 13th. He's coming off of a visit to the University of Iowa just a couple of days ago over the weekend. And so it's a matter of, it feels like a race and a battle between Nebraska and Iowa, but certainly a guy at 6'2", 170 pounds. We talk about those guys that are over that 6'1", but can still run and are pretty lengthy. Darian Jones fits that mold up at Omaha North High School as well. And so that's going to be a guy that Nebraska is going to be trying to go get, in addition to, like we said, with Danny Odom here going forward. You look at what Nebraska has position-wise and some positions that they're trying to target, in addition to defensive back and running back in their recruiting class. We obviously know Dayton Raiola is part of that. They got the commitment of Luke Sorensen last Friday, who's a 4-star tight end from Anaheim, California. He's listed at 6'4", 245. A couple of offensive linemen, and then linebacker Jace Reynolds from Elkhorn North High School has pledged his way to the Huskers. And so you look at what Nebraska has, and obviously they're sitting at 8 total commitments. But once again, encourage fans, don't look at that ranking at the end of the day and go, oh boy, Nebraska's in a bad spot, because I don't expect Nebraska, just from a sheer number standpoint, it's going to be hard to get into that elusive top 20 recruiting class that everybody likes to have when it's all said and done on signing day.
Yeah, and I'll tell you again, the fans too, don't worry. You got guys like Buford, Hartzog, and Singleton still in the room.
Yeah.
So for the young bucks, the guys that we mentioned, all they got to do is learn from them, and that's the easiest transition, is having the player to player talking, encouragement, leadership that they're gonna get from these guys. If Malcolm, I know him, he's not a big talker, but he could lead by example. And then Singleton, he's a talker. He's going to lead by talking and doing what he does on that football field. And Marcus Buford the same way. They're going to go out there and show, like, look, This is the blueprint. You come do you see how we practice, we see how we prepare, and then we get on the regular game field, and this is how we play. This is what you got to do, basically get in our positions to be the guys on this field that not only the coaches, have that confidence behind, but then you have a player respect too, not just from the players in our locker room, but from the teams that we're going to face this upcoming season.
Yeah, Raff, there's a lot more for us to get to. Obviously, good conversations on Husker stuff. Want to remind the folks, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line open for everybody here throughout the course of the show, as well as the Facebook, the live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable channel 961. All avenues for you guys, in addition to the audio streams, to grab your 93.7 The Ticket content. Guys, there's a lot more to get to throughout the 10 o'clock hour. New York Knicks are still looking for a head coach. We had haven't been able to talk about Fernando Tatis and his whole situation. He's suing a company over what he felt like he got the short end of a stick on a deal back when he was 17 years old that he's paying for right now. In the words of $34 million. And so there's a lot to get to throughout the 10 o'clock hour. But first, Raffy, we got to get to some history today.
All right. Well, don't break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We're looking for a chance for today. A chance of showers and storms throughout the day. Otherwise cloudy with light winds. The high near 84. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. Lower around 21. And tomorrow, with showers and storms throughout the day. Otherwise, probably sunny, breezy, and hot with a high near 94. Meteorologist Powell for 93.7 Ticket. TicketFM.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
and electrical.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Play ball! Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday. History time. Nick, do you got some history, or do you want me to kick off this history adventure?
Well, first, I'm going to let you kick it off, but want to tell the folks this segment brought to you by Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack, a well-respected representative since 1999, and he can help you protect your home, your vehicle, your family, or even your future. Visit one of their 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward today and give Jack Russell a call, 402-421-9100, to learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you protect what matters most. All right, Rafi, I'll let you kick it off. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, everybody. Today's history for me, this day in 1992, 33 years ago, with the first pick in the NBA draft at 7'1" from LSU, Shaquille the Deal O'Neal, 33 years ago. I mean, that is so crazy. So
yeah,
a couple months before he got drafted, I met him in Atlanta. Without a doubt, the biggest hands of any person I've ever shook hands with in my entire life. It was insane. I mean, I don't have small hands, but his hands went all the way around mine. It felt like they went around twice. It was insane. He was a monster.
Yeah, he's a unit.
I mean,
big dude. I met him too. He's a big dude. Cool as hell, big dude though.
I mean, gosh, he played 19 years in the league because he retired in 2011. Played 19 years in the league, over 1,200 games played for Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
So in his career statistics, 24 points a game, 11 rebounds. Over his 19-year career, averaged a double-double. So
absolutely,
obviously got drafted by Orlando, then went to LA for 8 years, and then kind of hopped around a couple of places, Miami, Phoenix for a little bit, Cleveland, and then Boston to round out his NBA career. So yeah, there's Shaquille O'Neal. Before we get to your history, AG, how about this one? Another draft pick, this one from the folks in 2010, the Washington Wizards selected Kentucky guard, first overall, John Wall. And so 2010, it's hard to think about. John Wall would be entering his 15th year in the league after the Washington Wizards there, but certainly has had a kind of unfortunate up and down career there. And then how about one birthday? I got two birthdays. Turning 38 years old today. He plays for Inter Miami, the soccer club. Lionel Messi turns 38 years old today. Never forget the Argentinian soccer player, the star Lionel Messi there. But and then obviously in 2001, how about this name? Monet Davis, the first
in
the Little League World Series. She threw a shutout for her squad that was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the Little League World Series out there in Williamsport. Monet Davis, I did not know she was the same age as me, but now she is. She was born on this day in 2001. So there's that for you, gentlemen.
Nice. Wow, I didn't know Lionel Messi. I got 10 years on Lionel. Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
38 years old today. How about that one?
He could play 10 more years doing what he's doing.
I mean, here's the thing. So he's got so many awards, obviously. 10-time La Liga title champion, 4-time UEFA Champions League winner, 6-time Copa del Rey winner, played obviously for FC Barcelona, and he was born in Rosario, Argentina. Has an illustrious career, and then decided to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go play for the MLS and Inter Miami and things like that, and bring a little bit of awareness to Major League Soccer in the United States there. But then he also is co-owner of the team as well, so he's involved in those conversations as well. So there's that. What you got for us today, AG?
Oh yeah, so I'm in video game history and got a fun game came out June this year, June 24th, 1991, was Sonic the Hedgehog in North America and Europe. Was released later in that year in July in Japan. That was the Sega Genesis Mega Drive. In terms of the console wars at that time, that started up when the Nintendo Entertainment System came out. So they introduced the new character of Sonic the Hedgehog, became the flagship title of Sega Genesis, and also helped Nintendo, like I said, battle back and forth. Those little commercials we used to see, Sega. I love those commercials. So you play as Sonic in the game, who can run at supersonic speed, set out to defeat Dr. Robotnik. You should know who all that is. Jim Carrey plays him in the current Sonic series of movies, which is awesomeness. Catch those as well. So the game was a critical and commercial success, selling over 4 million copies at that time. So that's a big deal. So Sonic the Hedgehog, dropping in.
There you go.
Awesome.
Hey, AG, I got a question for you. What was your first gaming system, and what was your first game that you ever got?
If you go console, first console was the ColecoVision, and it was Zaxxon. I had two games, Zaxxon and Donkey Kong.
All right.
Yep. And then PC was Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail.
The only games I've ever played on PC are the backyard games, the backyard football and backyard baseball. Used to rent them from the library.
Yes.
Used to rent them from the library, and then I'd be able to play them for like a week, and then we'd have to return them to the library.
Hey, go on my VOD on my Twitch channel, Mind Green TV, and I interviewed the new CEO of Backyard Productions, and they're making a new series of baseball, football, basketball, tennis, and they're making a big announcement, I think, this week or by the end of the year of what the new game they are coming out in 2026. So they're back, Nick. So
as long as Pablo Sanchez is involved, that's all I care.
Dude. Yep, he's still on the game. They sent me a code, and I've been playing it for about a week now, so it's pretty dope.
Look at this guy, guys. At the 10 o'clock hour, plenty of stuff to get to. Fernando Tatis, New York Knicks stuff. Also, Thomas Castellanos, the former Boston College quarterback, now at Florida State, made an interesting comment as well. So, Raff, go ahead and take us to break, my friend.
All right, we'll throw it to break. Just the drive, 93.7, The Ticket.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Welcome to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday. Time to talk some baseball, Nick.
Yeah, guys, and this is just a kind of a bizarre situation because we talk so much about, more so in the NIL landscape, about guys getting the financial literacy classes and things like that, and understanding how they handle money and the fine print in contract deals and things like that. Well, obviously, Fernando Tatis in Major League Baseball, he didn't go to college. He got signed he was at 17 years old. And so, basically out of high school over there and overseas. And so here's just the details in the backstory. This came out yesterday, according to Associated Press. So AP mentions that San Diego Padres star Fernando Tatis filed a lawsuit on Monday against a company called Big League Advance in an attempt to void the future earnings contract that he signed as a 17-year-old minor leaguer that would end up costing him about $34 million. So just to kind of give a backstory on this, he signed a deal with this, once again, Big League Advance, which basically gives you an advancement on your contracts in terms of cash. It said that Tatis received $2 million up front. Forget this, in exchange for 10% of all future earnings in his contracts. Tatis ended up signing after that deal in February of 2021. So 4 years ago, he ended up signing a 14-year, $340 million deal as a 21-year-old. And so in addition to not only this 14-year deal, if he ends up signing a contract at the end of it or an extension, he would also be on the hook to give Big League Advance 10% of whatever that next contract is as well. AG, as somebody that obviously played professional sports, I've heard of something like this, but also like just overall thoughts on this, because the $2 million up front doesn't seem like a whole lot when you're talking about then $34 million that Tatis is going to have to pay in the long run here.
No, man. So yeah, no, this is stuff that what athletes have to deal with coming coming into their leagues that they're profession in. Eventually they're going to be professionals in. It's the predatory firms of law groups like this that happen. It happened to, a lot of players, myself a little bit in the beginning, where I had an agent reach out to me and just started saying, hey, we could give you this loan and that loan. And I'm like, this don't feel right. So I say just off, my intuition, knowing this don't sound right. Cause I know that I gotta, go to the combine. I gotta do all this other stuff before I get a contract. So why would I want to take all this money now? So just intuition just told me, no, this doesn't sound good. And we found out later that guy had fraudulent deals with other players in my position, when I decided to go pro. So that was a guy, a learning lesson right away. It was scary because it's like, man, I'm just getting out here. I'm just trying to be a professional, and do my job eventually. But but the company's been around for a long time. People know the millions of dollars that's involved with any professional sport. And so with that, you got to have either family members or somebody that's there to, not only, for his time was still a little early, but for any player now, you can definitely look at and say, hey, get the financial literacy, understand what sounds good and what isn't a good deal right away. You can figure that out really by listening. It doesn't take a whole lot. And if you have more people in the room listening, because I remember when Niles went pro, I was like, I told my brother, his dad, my brother, right away, asked a ton of questions. Yeah, it's a foreign market to you. This agent's going to come in and, try to make everything sound like it's all peaches and creams and unicorns. And it's not that. And so this is the part where we got a lot of former athletes. Then once they're done playing, they have that. They're rough, they're jaded because they've been approached. They've been, things been taken away that wasn't even thought they agreed upon when they signed the contract. So I'm glad Tatis has a little help here in this situation. We'll find out later on if he has to pay out the 10% per deal, coming up. But I hope, obviously this is a big learning lesson for any professional athlete out there to see this, read this, and use this as a learning experience. Obviously, I'm pretty sure for Fernando Tatis, definitely a learning experience. But for any professional athlete, not just baseball player, but for any professional athlete, especially like you mentioned, Nick, at the start of this conversation, the NIL where we're at now, having that financial literacy, knowing what sounds good and what doesn't. If you have that, I say the biggest thing that can help you as a young athlete hearing stuff right now, if you just get that gut feeling telling you something don't sound right, and most likely don't go with it, and then follow up with somebody that can give you the information that can help how you handle that situation or that negotiation in that case.
Yeah, but also too, you've got to look at the situation. I mean, you've got a 17-year-old kid who's probably never even been close to $1 million, let alone $2 million. So you're being told, okay, we're going to forward you $2 million, but we're going to take 10% of your future earnings. Well, he hears 10%. Well, you hear 10%. You're like, well, that's not too much. I still get 90%. But what he probably did not guess was going to happen was that thing called taxes. Well, all of a sudden, when taxes are taken out, 34% or 40% and 10%, then all of a sudden, whoa, and I think that, like, going back, to that financial literacy, but at the time, I'm sure he was thinking he was getting a sweet deal out of the situation because he was getting $2 million of, something he'd never had.
Right.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
And it's crazy. So Fernando Tatis released a statement through a publicist saying, quote, "I'm fighting this battle, not just for myself, but for everyone still chasing the dream and hoping to provide a better life for their family. I want to help protect those young players who don't know yet how to protect themselves from these predatory lenders and illegal financial schemes. Kids' focus should be on their passion for baseball, not dodging shady business deals." And so here's what he said. Big League Advance and similar companies have been accused of predatory tactics and locking young minor leaguers, often Latin American players from poor backgrounds, into agreements that they don't fully understand. There's also another a former major league catcher, Francisco Mejia, who is among several others suing Big League Advance. Tatis, who's now 26 years old, said he used the $2 million advance to hire a personal trainer, eat healthier, and live in a nice home while making his way up the minor league ladder. The lawsuit alleges that BLA, Big League Advance, has for years run an unlicensed lending business that evades legal oversight and siphons millions in earnings from California workers. Big League Advance, the company, also just sued a former major leaguer, Franmil Reyes, for not paying. He owed Big League Advance about $400,000 and just did not pay it because he felt like it was shady business and that he was also kind of misled into that contract. And so they ended up suing Franmil Reyes over about $410,000 that he owed Big League Advance. So it's just a fascinating story because, once again, is like you said, Raff, I think I agree with you. And when you're 17 years old, you hear $2 million and it's okay, what do I need to do? And like, what's the resources that I need to get to that next deal, to get to where I want to go? And you hear 10% and it's not a lot, but then you get taxes involved, you get agent fees involved,
right?
And other things. And then you're in Fernando Tatis's case where you sign this monster deal for $340 million and lock down the next 14 years of your life, essentially, and 10% of $340 million, even though the other, what would that be, $300 basically $10 million or $305 million is a lot. $34 million to give up because of a deal you made 9 years ago, it hurts the old pocketbook.
I'd also be interested to see what kind of lawsuits Big League Advance has against the players that they've given money to, because think about this. You forward $2 million to a player, he goes to the minor leagues, flames out, doesn't have, you end up losing, you might lose $1 million. So it'd be interesting to see if Big League Advance has outs to players that, get injured or unable to, get past, like rookie leagues. I'm sure they do their homework to look for the players that have the greatest potential, but it'd be interesting to see how that from the other way.
Yeah, they need to, I say, get out of business right now. Everybody knows who they are. I said that'll be a good decision for the organizers for BLA right now. Is we need to step to the side for about eternity right now, because it's going to be coming down hammer. Dealing with California, they protect their civil, the citizens there. So Tatis has a good shot in winning his side of it, and hopefully the other players too, because being at the time Tatis was still in the Dominican Republic, that is covered by California consumer protection law. So that right there is huge. That right there, just to have that and knowing that knowledge, but then moving forward, like you said, let other athletes are going to read this article, other agents that represent younger athletes from the South America, from Central America. They come in, they don't speak our language in general, and so reading a contract that's all English, don't get it. Seeing numbers, that's the only thing they recognize is numbers. And like you said, Raff, 10%, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you look at the bigger picture, BLA know what they're doing. It was, during my time, I remember a group that I think it was Fred Taylor and a few other guys, unfortunately, got the raw end of the deal. And that company eventually had to, shut his doors because they got caught out. Everybody started talking amongst themselves as players. And that's another resource that Tatis, I'm pretty sure, is using or used in, and now is talking to your teammates in the locker room, because we all got stories to share, or maybe know of some other stories that they've been a part of or been aware of, and can share it, and then that experience can then help out the next player.
So I'm looking at BLA's website right now, and there's some information on the sheer numbers that they have on there. They've signed over 700 athletes since 2016 to these advanced deals. And here's the numbers that they basically plastered all over their front page. It's pretty fascinating. It says over 700 athletes have signed a partnership deal with BLA. They have invested over $190 million into the up-and-coming athletes. That is literally invested into the careers of up-and-coming athletes, is how they word it. Over $190 million there. And then, I mean, it's just crazy. They talk about their charity donations as well, that they've invested over a couple $1 million in charities and in the foundations of some of the athletes that they've signed. And they have a tab about how it works, about them a little bit. It is crazy, because once again, Tatis, according to Fernando Tatis, he claims that the investment deal was actually an illegal loan, that BLA misrepresented themselves to Tatis, hiding that it's an unlicensed status and pushing him into loan terms that are banned by California's consumer protection laws. And so there's a lot of layers to this, but once more so than just than what it looks like on the surface of he received $2 million when he was 17 years old, and now he owes them essentially $34 million that can keep a business in alive and flourishing for a couple more years. $34 million is quite the payout for a business.
I wonder too, like for like a lot of, the middle class, whatever, say if someone came up to you right now, Nick, and said, hey, I will give you $400,000, but you have to give me 10% of your earnings for the rest of your life. Would that be something that you'd be tempted in, knowing that you could go out, purchase a house right now
I don't know. I don't know if you could, because I think it's something that AG just mentioned at the start of this, actually, where it's like, okay, if you look at this and it's too good to be true, like it feels too good to be true, it probably is, because especially if you're in this status where somebody's coming to you and being like, hey, let me invest in your career. It feels a lot like they're trying to take advantage of you nowadays.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's an easy feeling. you get when somebody start talking big dreams, and like I said, it makes sounds all perfect. So that feeling came quick. And so I say for a lot of athletes, they've been down that road, unfortunately. But to hear this story, to talk about it and get it out there for all the athletes, that people that are listening in, not are non-athletes, but they know somebody that's at the next level of college and going into that, it's going to benefit them because companies like this company is existing like it's all good. If you go to their website, I'm at their website right now, and I'm like, wow, they do got major leaguers on there, so they're able to advertise that, and that's part
legit.
of the hook. Yeah, that's part of the hook. But that don't mean it's, even though it looks clean, don't mean it is clean. So do your research, do your homework, and like I said, ask a ton of questions if you are in a room with a group like this.
All right, Nick. Somebody comes and offers you $600,000 for 10% of your earning. You'd still say no.
I'd still say no
because they didn't put the work in. Nick put the work in. Okay,
it's funny,
but it's just like money right up front. Like here's $600,000,
and that's the enticement right there, right? That's what. You're so the way, like you said, it sounds just like that. It sounds like I should do this and be set for life, and it's like no, hold up now. 20 years from now, this is what you're gonna still owe. If you miss a payment or whatever, if you don't want to pay whatever. So you got to realize that part of it.
Kip on the text line says, do it and invest it. Go work at McDonald's. That's what Kip's advice is. 10% of that. Anyway, it's funny. Old Dad 34 and AG, you kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. AG, do you know of anyone that was scammed or tried to be scammed by an agent?
No, I know several guys. Like I said, Fred Taylor, and it was Fred Taylor. It was so he had signed with a firm that represented NFL and NBA players. So they had scammed from the 98 draft class. I think it was Freddie T and a few other guys that got drafted from the 98 NBA draft class that year too. Some first rounders too. And they all got, probably their whole contracts were, a lot of that money was because like the National League for NFL is, for agents, percentage is 3%. They were taking anywhere between 5 and 10%. And that was just because Freddie T and them guys didn't know at that time that that's the law. They should have said they would have, 3% is it. 5 and 6 and 10% out of an NFL contract. No, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So same with Major League Baseball. I think Major League Baseball is around 3-4% for representation. And
that's another crazy thing for NIL. There are no rules like that.
Right.
So it's crazy.
So yeah, that's why the kids got to get the financial literacy at the college level. Now they have to have it. It's not a let's think about it and do it. No, do it, because then the university is giving the support they should be giving a athlete that's eventually going to be professional. If you're training them now to be professional, because they got to know this stuff. Even if they got to, in their off season, then this is the part they can focus on, is the business side of it in their off season of their sport. During the regular season, that's when they can hand it off to mom, dad, or somebody that can help support in that area. But when the off season comes, beyond making sure their books are in line to graduate and all that stuff, pass their classes, then the financial comes in as well. Learn it, know the words that say, between what's percentages for everybody taken out, or who needs to get paid what, when, and where, and why, and how much, all that. Finding out all that gets obviously it's a little work you got to put in there, but in your offseason, there's time to do it. If you're serious about your game, to be a professional, you'll definitely put the same work in you do to get ready on the football field or the basketball court or the baseball diamond, to learn this financial part of it, to help yourself continue to grow and develop the right way.
It's crazy, because I was just reading about the agents and percentages and things like that, just doing some reading in terms of NFL and how it varies league to league, because like you said, NFL can't take more than 3%. Major League Baseball is they can go up to 5% for some guys as well. But what I did not know up until reading a couple of days ago was that is only for player contracts. Those limitations, those stipulations are only for the player contracts. When you get into endorsements and things like that, marketing deals, then agents are able, even in the NFL, are able to go over that 3% limit. That 3% limit only applies to the playing contracts.
True.
So that's something that if you're a young player, you look at it and go, okay, yeah, 3% of every deal that I make is going to the agent. I can plan on that. Well, in that fine print, what if What if that changes to 10% on endorsement deals? That's a big, that 7% can be a big amount.
Yeah. And so with the endorsement deals and marketing, the I say verbatim number is, because a marketing deal could be significantly smaller because it's just usually 1 or 2 year deal.
Yeah.
So you're looking at anywhere between 10 and 20%. And I usually, what I do is, what I tell people is, when you're young or you just starting out with a firm or you starting out with a marketing person, you start them low just to see how they work. You know, of course, they're not going to hear 10. They're going to not like hearing 10% in the first deal with somebody that's going to be probably a first round draft pick. But it's like, look, just like I earned my way up, you got to earn your way up. So I want to see what work you get done for me from a promotional standpoint. And if it looks good and feels good and you get me into another deal, then I'll raise that up to 15%. You know, just like the pro athlete, whatever sport, they got to, you know, when they develop and get better, they get paid more because they're producing more. They're scoring more touchdowns. They're hitting more 3-pointers. They're hitting more home runs, striking out batters. That's how players get paid. And so that's the way agents should get paid, you know, or marketing agents anyway, for that matter. That's what I've told. That's what I've done over the last 10 years. If I worked with a new marketing person, I said, hey, this is the first time we're working together, so I'm going to come with you at this number. If you want to go at this number, then great. And if not, then I say we could part ways, because this is what I've experienced through my time dealing with marketing agents that were then eventually, I only worked with them one time and they got more out of the deal than I did in terms of promotion and all that, in terms of what I got paid to in the end of it. So I want to make sure it's just a fair thing until we start working together. We do more jobs, then you could get paid and I get paid more money, you know, in the long run.
Well, and to that, Raff, I mean, we see it in the game of golf as a perfect example. Bryson DeChambeau, like 3 years ago, kind of laid out exactly his caddies percentages. And this is where it's different in golf, because there's a flat rate that the golfers will pay their caddy week in and week out, no matter where they finish. But then I think it was, once again, it's like if Bryson won a tournament back in 2022, he said that his caddy got 10%. And it just went down slightly if you finished top 10, top 15, top 20. And he said that it was clearly laid out there. But even if you say that, I mean, okay, so let's say 3% is the caddy's cut for a top 20 finish. Right now, this isn't necessarily an agent, but kind of the same mindset. Let's say your cut for top 20 is 3%, your cut for top 10 is 7%, and then your cut for winning it is 10%. That's one of those things that, I mean, it just varies, but it has to be completely and clearly labeled in every agreement that you have, because there's so many minor pieces of it that can get misconstrued and misinterpreted. And then that's where you run into issues like a Fernando Tatis situation.
100%.
All right, Nick, final offer. $2 million and 10% of all your career earnings.
I feel like we're in Shark Tank right now, and Raff is trying to invest in not any of my products, but just into me. And this is
right.
Wild. No, I'm still not taking it, because once again, it's too good to be true, Raff. I mean, come on.
That first gut feeling, go with it, Nick. Go with it, baby.
Too good to be true. Raffy, we got so much more to talk about, guys. Thomas Castellanos, the Florida State quarterback, had some comments. We got New York Knicks stuff coming up as well throughout the rest of the show. In a show that's been flying by. We only got about 30 minutes left in the program here. Raff, send us to break, my friend.
All right, we'll throw it to break. Just the drive. 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers, as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We're looking forecast for today. A chance of showers and storms throughout the day. Otherwise cloudy with light winds and a high near 84. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. Low around 71. And tomorrow, a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. Otherwise partly sunny, breezy, and hot with a high near 94. Meteorologist Kyle for 93.7 The Ticket. TicketFM.com.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Spring sports are here, and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277, or judsonirrigation.com.
Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back again. 3.7 The Ticket. We're proudly sponsored by Doors Plus. If your garage door needs maintenance, you need an entirely new garage door, give Cameron Hall and his team a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus is locally owned and handles everything from residential or commercial garage doors, garage door openers, safety tune-ups, or custom design. Visit DoorsPlusLLC.com to learn more. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Thank you, Raff. Guys, I wanted to get to this. We don't have to spend a whole segment on it, or we can as well, because there's a couple of interesting thoughts here from Thomas Castellanos. And there's been some quarterbacks in the college game that have come out and said some pretty outlandish things over the last couple of days, where obviously you had Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia talking about how Vanderbilt and how he would just run through the bottom tier of the Big Ten Conference. And he specifically mentioned Nebraska and Purdue last week as the starting quarterback at Vanderbilt. Well, now Thomas Castellanos, it looks like Castellanos. It is pronounced Castellanos, who is now the quarterback at Florida State after transferring from Boston College. You might remember he sat out the bowl game against Nebraska last year and ended up transferring to Florida State. Florida State coming off of a season to where I think the right word to categorize the Florida State offense would be juiceless. I mean, they just had nothing offensively. DJ Uiagalelei was immobile at best last year at times for that Florida State offense. And Thomas Castellanos comes out and says, I'm trying to save jobs yesterday. He said that's what he goes, I'm trying to come in here, I'm trying to win, and I'm trying to save jobs. And I thought it was interesting to hear a player actually say that. However, this is what Thomas Castellanos said verbatim. I'm excited, man. People, I don't know if they know, but you go back and watch every first game that I played in, we always start fast. I dreamed of playing against Alabama, but they don't have Nick Saban to save them this time. I don't see them ever stopping me. And then in the ACC, I feel like I tore up the ACC by my damn self for the last 2 years, and now I'm with a squad. I hope people don't think that Florida State is going to be the same team it was last year. People just can't sit back in zone coverage and watch me. So not only taking a shot at Alabama, taking a shot at Boston College for talking basically saying that he didn't have a team around him at Boston College under Bill O'Brien. And now saying that Alabama doesn't have Nick Saban to save them. AG, I saw you shaking your head. What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, first thing my brothers taught me, don't trash talk. That's it. He's setting himself up for every player that hears him or reads his comments that he's going to potentially play against on the defensive side of the ball, going to want to bring him that smoke. Because they want to see, he's about that smoke, right? He's about that life. He's a good player. Like, you don't talk like, this is not going to end good. I'll say for the beginning of his season, it's going to be a little rough. That's all I'll say. And if anything, at the end of the season, it's going to make him better because he's going to have the best of the best coming at him because he's putting a target on his back by himself. No media required. It's all him. So something like I said, first lesson learned in being an athlete or being a person, don't trash talk. But we'll see the inside of this, and we'll be talking about this later in the season once the season gets rolling. That's all I got to say about this young man here.
Raff, I mean, when you look at this, so Florida State, for those that don't know, Florida State opens up against Alabama in the first game of the year this year, because obviously it's not a conference game, but Alabama plays Florida State this year. This has so much potential, Raff, to just backfire, and the memes will be flowing free. And can you imagine if Alabama ends up winning pretty comfortably, or if they just win? Can you imagine just all the social media graphics, all of the captions that are going to play off of the hey, at least we didn't need saved or whatever all this was, because it's going to be a meme that flies around.
Yeah, well, it just seems like now if you go to Florida State, the prerequisite is to say, that you've joined a juggernaut of a team. I mean, you had the sack master coming out and saying he's playing with a better quality athlete down in Florida State. Now you got Thomas Castellanos saying that, and it's just like, you haven't even played a real game with your new teammates yet. You're saying how you're going to, put up 100 on Alabama and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know. It's risky. I mean, either it's gonna fly and whatever he's saying is true, or it's gonna burn in flames. And right now, I think I would have just maybe held back a little bit, maybe not ever say it at all, but they're very confident. I'll give them that. But the thing that they got to remember is, Alabama does not have Nick Saban anymore, but DeBoer is not a bad coach. I mean, if you look back, he was just playing in a national championship game 2 years ago. So I would have maybe held back.
Well, now I will say this, and I've kind of been, I watched, oddly enough, because Boston College played a lot of like Thursday and Friday night games in the early parts of the year last year. And then they also played a lot of just late night garbage time games. I found myself tuning into Boston College games over the last 2 years for some odd reason, and just kind of having it on in the background. I actually enjoyed watching Thomas Castellanos play. He was a tough guy. There was a game last year where he played Florida State, and obviously Boston College ended up going on the road and beating Florida State early on in the year last year. And that was one of the games that like I was tuned in for. And Thomas Castellanos was impressive against Florida State. However, about 3/4 of the way through the season, he gets banged up. He ends up deciding to enter the portal, and Boston College ended up going on and making a bowl game, but then ended up losing in the bowl game. But you look at just his career stats, a guy that started his career at UCF back in 2022, then transferred to BC in 23. His first year at Chestnut Hill and out in Boston College was quite impressive. Not a great touchdown. He didn't hold on to the football that great. He had 14 picks, 15 touchdown passes. But in terms of rushing yards in 2023, had over 1,100 rushing yards in over 200 carries. That's a lot of tread on the tires. Did not have nearly that. Had less than 200 rushing yards in 2024. But once again, I mean, AG, you just look at it, and not to pick apart these comments, but it is the 24th, and these are the type of topics that we and conversations we have. But it's just, once again, a shot at Alabama, a shot at the rest of the ACC, talking about how you can't just sit back in zone coverage and watch me. And then also is essentially, this was the more so shocking quote that I had. I feel like I tore the ACC up by myself for the last 2 years. So there you have it from Thomas Castellanos. And so we'll see what Florida State looks like this year. His other quote about I'm trying to come in and win and save jobs, that is true, because Mike Norvell hasn't had, outside of the 1 year where they were left out of the playoff just by the hair on their chinny chins, they haven't necessarily been a national powerhouse that they thought that they were going to be, bringing in Mike Norvell after his success at Memphis. They just put a lot of money into a stadium renovation down there at Doak Campbell Stadium, and so we'll see how Florida State looks this year, AG.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, don't trash talk. That's just the biggest lesson I've ever learned. And whatever you do, I hope he is successful. Yeah. I mean, I just wish the better for him. But it's, at the end of the day, this may be a learning lesson for him, or it may not. He might come in and hit all the I's, cross all the T's.
Tear it up.
Maybe he does tear it up, But at the end of the day, we all got to wait. He has to wait. Well, while he's waiting, I'll just say he's doing several things. One, getting himself ready for the football season. Two, hitting the weight room hard, because trust me, from the coaches and the players that hear this, if I'm a linebacker or a DB on any other team that's on his schedule, I'm marking that day. I'm marking it. I'm like, to be a competitor and to be called out, that's just a line that is rarely crossed unless you can back it up. Guys that we know around all professional sports, there's a few guys and ladies from every sport you could look down to say, okay, this person can draw a line and call people out because they backed it up. They did it and they backed it up. Okay, Tommy, a lot of people don't know about you. We're learning about you now. Doing this will put you out there. but in a good and a bad way. Like I said, it's going to be a learning lesson for him and his teammates, because a lot of his teammates are like, bro, man, why'd you open your mouth during the offseason? It might come down to that type of conversation.
You're not calling out like some mid-level team. You're calling out Alabama.
Dudes, yeah, you're calling out those dudes, right? You're calling out the teams that have won national titles in the last 10, 15 years. You're calling out the coaching staffs that were a part of those teams. And so doesn't go lightly. This does not get ignored. Trust me. Even though we're sitting in the June, going in July, where it's kind of that space of there's no more big sports. There's we got WNBA going on right now, which is good for me because I got a lot of players that I love to support there and watch. But outside of that, there's no other big sports until mid-July, end of August, or once August hits, we're back to football. And so it's gonna be, oh man, this is gonna be one of them waiting periods. Like, oh, what did I just do? If I'm Tommy, but he obviously it sounds like he has a lot of confidence in his game, but we got to wait and see. We'll find out.
It sounded good when you said it. A week later, after it marinates for a while, you go, crap, what did I just do? I think the other part of it is Alabama didn't. It's the first game of the year. Teams don't need bulletin board material to get juiced up for a game. You shouldn't need it, throughout the 12 weeks that you play. But now you've just allowed Alabama to get some bulletin board material on you guys prior to the first game of the season, as if they needed it, right? As if they needed it. This is a big, we talk about big years for Florida State. This is a big year for Alabama, right? They lose the bowl game to Michigan. It's a very important year for Kalen DeBoer and his squad going forward. So not that Alabama needed any more motivation, but they just got it, right? So they know Alabama knows what's on the line for them this year. So not that they needed any more motivation, but hey, Thomas Castellanos, we appreciate you giving us more. And if I'm Kalen DeBoer, I'm telling my defensive guys, those guys that are hunting him on that Saturday afternoon, I'm telling those guys, hey, remember what he just said about you guys a couple of weeks
ago. He won't have to do that. He won't. Everything is out there. We're talking about it in Nebraska, okay? Yep. Trust me, those guys on DeBoer's roster, they know this already. They knew this when it went down. Trust me, all the defensive players are marking it on the calendar. Trust me, funny. They're like, oh, okay, what? Oh, he's only 5'9", 195 pounds. What? Oh, hey, okay. I'm about to. He's about to get it all.
We are up against the break, but hey, this is a good reminder. If you're watching on the video stream, Tag chimes in and says, my radio is broken in my work van. I had to pull up the stream. Tag, great reminder for everybody. If you ever find your radio is broken, you can tune into us, whether it's on the mobile app, it's available everywhere. A lot of cars that we're driving around have that Bluetooth capability. And so just pull up that 93.7 The Ticket app, and you can listen to us anywhere with no static, no friction there. But if you want the video component, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable channel 961, all avenues for you guys. So shout out to Tag for remembering that the video stream is a thing. And thanks to our friends from Sartor Heyman Jewelers for sponsoring the coverage of that. All right, gentlemen, we got one last segment to go. Little Raff's Good Take, AG closing comments on the other side. Go ahead and take us away, Raffy.
All right, we'll talk to break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. Otherwise cloudy with light winds and a high near 84. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely, low around 71. And tomorrow, a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. Otherwise partly sunny, breezy, and hot with a high near 94. Meteorologist Kyle for 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Spring sports are here, and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, wrapping up another show of The Drive this Tuesday. How's the weather in Lincoln, Nick? Looking good there today?
Well, it's not bad. However, the last 2 days, it's been, obviously hot and humid, but out of nowhere yesterday afternoon, it just downpoured for about 5 minutes. Well, that's exactly what it did about 30 minutes ago here. It just automatically started downpouring out of nowhere. And now it started just then it kind of tapered off a little bit, light rain, and now it looks to be drying up a little bit, not raining anymore. But it's just the weather's been weird the last couple of days in that it's been very hot, humid, and then the clouds just decided to burst and pour some rain down. But no, it's been pretty good here. Guys, I forgot one birthday today. How about JJ Redick, the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? He turns, I think it was also 38 years old today. JJ Redick, the head coach of the Lakers, might be older than that, but he is it's his birthday today as well.
Nice.
Anyway, Raffi, today, what you got for a little RGT action, my friend?
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's Good Take goes out to Nicole Kolbis. She won the Lincoln City Women's Golf Tournament here or in Lincoln. She won by a comfortable 28 strokes. So just wanted to congratulate her. I saw that her mom came in third place, and she's an 18-time winner of the championship. So it looks like they're just passing on the baton. So congratulations to Nicole. You are Raff's Good Take. And Nick, did you go to high school with her by chance?
I did not go to high school with her, but if you are aware of anything that happens around Pius, you know the Kolbis family. Obviously, that she was the coach of Pius Golf, and won a couple state titles and things like that. Can you imagine guys winning at any level, winning a tournament by 28 strokes? I mean, you go into the last hole and you're man, I really got to do something to lose this one. I mean, it's practically impossible.
You know what's funny about that was she was winning by so much, and she could have been celebrating maybe a couple dances and stuff like that. But she set the course record at Crooked Creek with a 63, so she probably had to keep her A game on the entire time, so she couldn't probably really celebrate too much because I'm sure she wanted that record.
63. I mean, even at a course like Crooked Creek, which is fine. It's not a super difficult course by any means, but still, just to be able to go out and shoot a 63 anywhere, set a course record, man, it's just absolutely wild.
I had a 56 there one time, but that was through 9.
Yeah, that was big holes. Anyway,
nothing for me.
Anyway,
I got nothing on that area.
yeah, that's wild. It's just crazy. Yeah, no. So that I'm very familiar with the name Kolbis, obviously, but do not personally know them. AG, any final words before we get out of here? We got about a minute left in the show.
I mean, we had 2 topics we hit hard on with the Tatis story, and then obviously with this Tommy Catalanos, I say locker room billboard stuff. Just keep tabs on him for sure. I'm gonna put in my calendar. I'm gonna look over to because where is he at? He's at Boston College, or he's at
Florida State.
So he's at FSU. So okay, I'm gonna go on FSU schedule, and I'm gonna just take note of all the games and definitely watch his highlights in particular. And then obviously with the stuff with the Tatis story, man. For the athletes that are listening in, for the fans that are listening in, this is what we go through. As professional athletes, from the time I wasn't even on the field yet, and I had a guy reaching out to me, trying to take advantage of me, and I was just like, man, this is crazy. So we go through a lot at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, we are human beings. But just remember, we got a lot going on sometimes, and we, as young athletes, are just trying to learn and get through it. So
that Florida State opening game is on August 30th. It's the Saturday, 2:30 p.m. in Tallahassee. It's at Doak Campbell Stadium down there at Florida State. So, Raffi, we got 30 seconds left, my friend. Take us away.
All right. First off, I just want to wish a very happy 25th anniversary to my great friends Stacy and Bill. Congratulations. That's awesome. Everyone else, have a great Tuesday. Be nice to each other, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105 or 0.9% APR on select new models.